Right then, Zach, 400th game on the horizon. What's your leading emotion going into this game? Just thinking about your career in general.
Yeah, it's weird when obviously 400s, you try and think it's just another game. I knew it was going to come up this year. I just don't, with injuries and stuff, you didn't know when it was going to crop up. Yeah, it'll probably be emotional on the day. It's funny how it's going to be Leeds, the club that I made my debut for as well. So that's got a bit of a ring to it. And yeah, the career that I've had so far is, in my eyes, it's been great. Had some ups and downs, but it's along the way, it's been a great journey so far.
Yeah, and you've touched on it there with Leeds Rhinos being your first major Super League club at Featherstone as well in that time.
Yeah, Featherstone obviously signed from Leeds to Leeds from Featherstone. Had many great seasons at Leeds. Won quite a lot of trophies there as well. So we've got some great memories. A club that I went back to on loan as well, I think in 2022. So yeah, got a lot of affiliation with Leeds, a lot of connection, a lot of love for the club. It is a brilliant club, and yeah, it's just fitting that this weekend will be my 400th against the team that gave me my debut. So it's it's really interesting how it all pans out. So I'll be looking forward to it.
Am I right in thinking Ryan Hall would have been obviously at his pomp at that time as well, but obviously teammates?
Yeah, definitely. The Danny Braderis, Brent Webbs, Callum Watkins, Keith Seniors, Dan Maguires, Rob Burrows, Kevin Fields. When you think about the team that I actually got put in there with it's amazing. Some of them players now are just tremendous. Everyone speaks so highly of them, and yeah, I've always said I was kind of a passenger the first couple of years at Leeds. I was just involved in a great team, and I was concentrating on my job there. And then yeah, obviously when you get older like I am now, I'm doing a bit of I'm trying to help the young lads, especially in the games situation. Whereas when I was at Leeds, it was the other way around. I was probably getting helped by the elders. So it's it's a bit of a flip, contrast on the two clubs that I'm at the minute.
Does it feel special if Ryan is involved at the weekend that you can be locking horns against him on this landmark occasion? Yeah,
well, I'll be honest, I'm not really bothered who it is. I think hopefully Callum Watkins will be playing. He were a really good friend of mine when I was at Leeds. Ryan Hall, Ash Stanley was there. Cam Smith, I don't know if he'll be playing, but there's a few boys there, especially when they were young as well, that we grew up together a little bit. Me and Callum, yeah, we went out drinking together, and then we played together when we was young, 18, 19, and you had a special connection. So yeah, to share the field with those guys, it'll be very special. But I'll be concentrating on winning the game 100%. So it'll be probably just thumbs up before the game, and then full blown at it during the 80 minutes.
Could it be any other club for you to mark 400 years? Given the club obviously you play for now in Hull FC, but then Leeds as well makes it extra special for you personally?
Yeah, where I'm at the minute in my life is right up there. I'm so happy away from the pitch. My life's really good. On the pitch, my performances I think have been good. Around the training ground, the things that we spoke about before the season kicked off was trying to get this club back to where it belongs. Build the fan base, the connection, the love from within in the club. Starting from Firkle, from Richard Mile all the way down to some of the younger players, and I think we've built that along the season, and we've put ourselves in a great position at the minute. We're in sixth spot, a point ahead of Wakefield, and we know we've got a tough running towards the end, and probably fixture-wise, Wakefield have got the easier run, as they say, but it's in our hands, and yeah, we're just taking it week by week, and yeah, it just starts again this weekend, but obviously with a bit of a twist for me, being at 400, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, but you talk about how tough that fixture list is, but as someone who's done various Challenge Cup successes, Super League, you've been a world champion. How does it compare when you get really stuck in and you know that you have to go right to the end in this case?
I think it's good. I think it just gives you a sole focus of what you need to do. Sometimes when you could probably miss a game, or you can not be on the boil, you take your foot off the gas, and you could end up losing 2 or 3 games where you didn't know, I'm sat here now, we need to win every single game. Funny enough, one of the journals just said there, if we win six games, we win the grand final. So it's just mad how things like that happen. I think we went on a little spree like that halfway through the season. So it's just up to us to come out firing every week, and all the passion and desire that we've shown against St Helens, we just came up short. But yeah, if we can keep doing that I'm sure we'll get the 2 points, and it'll be a good game anyway. They're going really well, Leeds, at the minute. Throw the ball about, really expansive rugby, so it'll be a tough test. But being at home as well, having this crowd behind us, I think that's really important as well.
Yeah, we'll come to the game in a moment, but as a leader or an experienced head amongst this rebuild for the 2025 season, how much have you enjoyed it?
Massive so, and I think that's just shown my personality on and off the pitch. I've tried to lead it on the pitch, whether it's just, I don't know, I've said it before, just a kick chase or just something that's a bit inspirational where I can feel that the game's lacking a little bit. The crowd are a bit and ahhing, and it's waiting for something to happen, and that's just come from experience and playing in a large number of games, and quite a lot of big games as well. So I'm enjoying doing that. I speak in training quite a lot. So yeah, I've really enjoyed that, and I think it's shown. I think it's been evident. Like I say, my life away from rugby as well is really good. I'm really happy, and the two and two together coincide. I've had an enjoyable year so far. It's been good.
I like how you touch upon saying that your life is good away from rugby. Has that allowed you to just be calm and on the job at hand this season?
It has, yeah. It's always affected me. I think my life away from rugby, whether it's been good or bad, it's a big sign for me, that. And but I think I'm 33. I've got 2 kids. A bit of maturity is coming into play there, and the wrongs and the things that I've done wrong when I'm younger. I can. To be fair, all the lads here are brilliant, but it's just something that I've got there where I can just help out, or some of the lads are struggling in training, and I'll, come on mate, I'll grab him by the neck and like, come on, we'll do a bit of passing or just dummy half passing, some kick catch, something like that. Whereas 4 or 5 years ago, if something's not right in my life, I'm probably not concentrating on them because I'm just trying to focus on me, whereas everything's just sweet at the minute. And like I said, I think it's just showing that when I'm playing, and hopefully when I'm around the training pitch as well.
I can sense that you'll be relishing as well, speaking about your family there, that when you do eventually hang up your boots, I imagine your kids will have some involvement in the sport. Would you push that?
No, they can do whatever they want. It's funny, the last, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, they want me to keep playing Old Faithful on the speaker, and they sing it really, really well, but they say Hull Faithful, not Old Faithful, so I'll give them that. But the 4 and 3, and they ask for that song request all the time. It's that, and I don't know, Crazy Frog. So it does go. It varies from song to song, but they fully love it. Before it was branded, it was the leopards, and then the rhinos, and animal based. But yeah, they love Hull now. The black and white, and they've got the tops and stuff, and that's really important for me. My kids, they're massively influential for me in my life in the minute, and then all my family just jumping on board. And I think just the cohesion and the thing that we're creating at Hull. My mum and stepdad come to every single game, and they can feel how good it is when they come. They're very welcoming. All the partners do stuff together quite a lot, and it's just a really family orientated club, and that's what we spoke about before any ball got kicked off in the season, and that transfixes onto the pitch, where we've had some really good performances, some bad performances, but like I say, we're in the 6 at the minute, and it's up to us to stay there.
You came in as a trio of signings from Lee that you've touched upon. How much do you stay in touch with Ollie Holmes after his retirement for injury?
Quite a lot, actually. Yeah, Ollie's he's never too positive, but we went golfing with him last week. So it's different. He's just sat in in an office at the minute. So I told him he needs to start getting to the gym because his belly is going to be a bit bigger. But no, he's all right. It's not easy going to be a transition for anyone, especially going from having to retire through injury, which were really sad, and he was trying absolutely everything known to man to keep him playing. And Hull were paying things for the jabs and all sorts and scans to try and keep him on. And the body just, I suppose, just tells him he couldn't go on. But I keep in touch. Funny enough, he sent me a funny video this morning about something, probably not for you guys, but we keep in touch daily. Yeah, whether it's a joke or a phone call or golf.
I described you the other week to John as a Swiss Army knife of this team. Do you feel like that?
Well, it's funny because I called Chamberlain this when I was at Lee, because he played back row, centre, sometimes not wing, and I used to call him it, and then he flips it on me now, but I pretty much am a Swiss Army knife. And sometimes, on Monday morning, I'll say to John, I said, right, where am I this week, mate? And I've said, look, if I'm still at Hull in the next couple of years, can you just start me at hooker and prop, and then I can happily retire that I've actually played every position. I've probably played hooker a little bit in the when someone gets injured, but I want to be actually a starting nine, a starting prop, just so I've completed every position, and I'll be an happy man if that happens.
We'll see if it comes in 2026. On one position though, the centre area, it's been opened up about possible inclusions for next season. As a player looking in, what do you think needs to be added, or what you've got already that benefits Hull FC in that certain area?
I think Richie, to be fair to him, is very knowledgeable. He's only recently retired himself. He's played at some great clubs and with some great players. Wherever we can add the quality, no matter what position it is, I think we're willing to go out there and get that. Whether that's in the centres, wingers, halves, hookers, or whatever that may be. And I always see it as, if you brought a centre in, for example, and I thought he was taking my position, I'd feel it, right, game on, see if you can be better than me. So I just take it as a personal challenge. So, Richie goes out and tries to strengthen from whatever position. So if we get another centre or 2 or 3 centres, then I'll say to Dave, let's go, mate, see if they're better than us. And that only makes us better, makes the club better, which we're all here to do. And I'm more than happy to do that for the club. But yeah, at the minute I'm just slotting in wherever I'm needed. And I'm happy to do that.
How are you feeling about this one then, looking at how impressive Leeds Rhinos were against the City rivals last week? Yeah,
I watched it. They were fantastic. There were big talk of, they didn't think the pack was going to be, capable of keeping up with KR. And, the first 20, 25 minutes, they started too quick, and then they were throwing the ball about. Lockie Miller is playing outstanding at the minute. Jake Connor, really smart footballer. And I think the middle stood up, actually, to be fair. I know we got a couple missing there, but they're playing really good rugby. They're really confident. And the brand of rugby that they're playing is probably different to St Helens that we played last week. Probably St Helens, you go for the 5 drives and a kick, and it's who can break each other down first. But you've seen it on numerous occasions. Kick ball to Lockie Miller, does some absolute mad spins and chucks the ball 65 metres to the left, and then Ash Hanley gets the ball and sprints down the wing, and before you know it, it's done on your post. So it's a different kind of game for us this weekend, but we've trained today, and I thought we trained really, really well. It's going to be full of energy, but like I say, it's a must-win game for us, and we're more than capable of beating them. We should have beaten them at their place. We played really well for 79 minutes, and we lost by the score right at the end. So we're confident on us day. If we play 9 out of 10, we get the win, no matter what players are in and what players are out. So it's just up to us to turn up on Saturday and do that.
And how much of that previous encounter is still in the minds of the players? Because there is a stigma sometimes to say, look, it's done and dusted, or we're taking one game at a time. But how much have you taken from that match at Headingley and planted it into this one as players?
Yeah, we've taken a little bit. I'll not give too much away, but we've had clips up to look at that. It's just for that extra little bit of motivation. Like I say, I thought we were clearly the better team that day, but just the last 5 minutes we were fatigued, and like I say, they've got very dangerous players. Out and Ash Hanley break down the side, and then Reinhold finishing the famous Reinhold finish in the corner, and Jake Connor was quick to point out that they'd scored in the corner. So it's going to be a tasty game. We're looking forward to it, and it's one that we thought we should have won the first time, and we'll see about it, how it goes Saturday.
And just finally, when you've reached 400 in this case, who'll be the first person that you speak to, or Hull, or whoever, at full time?
Unfortunately, my kids are on holiday, and when I found out this afternoon, I text the kids' mum. We're not together, but I said, I'm good, kids are on holiday. But I text my mum saying, it's my 400. She went, I know, wink. So I don't know if there's been some talk behind closed doors. But just my family and my friends will be there. But they're there every week anyway, so it'll be my mum straight away, my stepdad who've took me to Cumbria when I was 6 and 7, and I can't believe that they did that. Thinking about if I had to take my son to Cumbria, to Kells, up at the biggest hill ever with wind and rain at 7 years old, I'm thinking, oh nah, son, I'm not doing that. But they did, so it's like what you do for your kids is mad, and for 400 game for them to be here as well. That'll be very special, so my mum will be probably the first one.
Cheers, Zach. Good luck.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Hey, Zach.
Yeah, mate.
400 in your tank on Saturday. How many more you got left in you?
Probably another 150. It's mad because obviously when I was at Leeds, I was playing sometimes maybe 35, 36 games in a season. I don't know why, I don't know how that happened, but we were getting to Challenge Cup finals, we were getting to grand finals, I was playing for England. So I reckon up quite a lot of games early on. Now it's a bit harder to get that volume of games, but I've certainly got at least a good 3 years in me, a very good 3 years. And yeah, how many games I can rack up in between that? I'd definitely say 450, maybe 500, and we'll see where we go.
You're listening, Richard, then, because we've talked about this a couple of weeks back, didn't you?
Yeah.
You have got an option for a third year.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got that same option.
Yeah.
So, yeah, get knocking on his door, see what happens.
Yeah, it's. I've always been, let the rugby take care of itself. Me and Richard, I've played with Richard, so we get on really well. It's something that we've not spoke about. It's the contract's there already. The option is the option. If and when we get to speak about that, I'm sure we'll do that. But yeah, we'll just, like I say, focus on this year. We've got a couple more games left. Try and finish in the playoffs, and then see where we can go from there.
What's Leicester been like for you this year? Because it's a club you've been, pretty respectful of throughout your career, to be honest. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that when you signed for Leeds, there was options to come from all the way back when you was at Featherstone. So it's a club that's always been on the periphery of your career, if you like. Yeah,
and that's what made it a little bit special when I signed. Actually, it was a club that I came in and I toured the training pitches, the facilities, the stadium at the time. I can remember being, how old I was, 16, and the stadium at the time was like, wow, imagine playing here. And it was a last minute call from Leeds, and there's another story there, but Hull was nearly enough nailed on. So yeah, to come here towards the back end of my career, I felt like I don't know, that I owed probably the club at something. I imagine things differently to other people. I've got a bit of a weird brain, but I always think like, that they would have given me that opportunity that many years ago. So all I can do is try my best for the club that I'm at now. And yeah, week in, week out, I try, my effort levels are always there. And yeah, I just feel like I want to give this club something back. And yeah, we're still doing that.
So it's way back up in it all after a few tough years now. I mean, how much have you seen the progress from the first time you walked through the door in pre-season to now? Because some people have described it as astronomical, really. Yeah,
it's massive. There were a lot of even doom and gloom of talks of the year before, and it's sort of hard to get past that. But when you weren't here, like I weren't, and many others, it was hard to be like in that. But you could feel that negative energy a little bit, and Carter was really quick to try and get that out. And Lasty brought it on sometimes, and yeah, it was like, look lads, this is a new group. And me and C's, we spoke up. Johnny S.R. was like, look lads, I don't care what happened last year, this is a new year, so you need to pull your finger out. It's the hard work starts on the field. We did that in November. We've trained really hard. We had a really good pre-season, and then yeah, like I say, I think the difference from last year to this year is unrecognisable. But I don't think just from that, it's the connection between the media staff, the physios, the staff that work behind the scenes, the ticket people. It's everyone says hello, everyone's friendly, and even from week one to now, that's totally different. But it always helps when you're winning on the pitch. But I think the staff that we've got around us, from the top, from Richie, from Andrew to right back, like I said about the physios and stuff like that, that helps us, perform on the pitch, and it's just one big circle. The fans are happy here, and it's a good environment to be in.
Suppose you get that connection, which the club have been big on, throughout the whole club.
Yeah.
Suppose that's the foundation to what you want to achieve, because people have spoke about good for Hull this year, but the message there is it's just a start, isn't it? Oh,
massively so. Yeah, we've said this like for ages when we couldn't get a win at home, and we were getting over 2,000 travelling fans nearly every away game, and winning, and they were like, they were amazed, and I don't think they couldn't believe it at first, because obviously they've had to ride that wave with the club last year, and it was just a real big shame that we couldn't match that with some of the home performances. But we've gradually got that towards the end, and when we do get a good win like the Wakefield win, you go around and clap the fans, you can see the love and the passion, and just how thankful they are for us for winning, really. But that's what we're here to do, and I think that's just the massive change, the cultural change that we've managed to turn around in quite such a short period of time. They talk about cultural changes and teams and clubs sometimes it takes 2, 3, 4 years. We've said, I think Rich has openly said that, but I think internally we've flipped it on its head from November to August now. So it's massive change already. So yeah, it's good, but the job's not done. We want to, like I say, finish in the top 6, and then on his day we're very confident we can beat any team. So it's just on us now, mate.
I suppose it's still in your hands, isn't it? That's the key thing for us to go.
Yeah, definitely, and that's, if you'd have told us that in November, I think some people would have laughed at us. The playing group though wouldn't have, and you know we're a confident bunch, and like I say, we've got a massive game against Leeds at home, which is going to be a massive benefit for us, and it's just a game that we need to win.
I know from speaking to the first time in the club shop back in December last
Yeah.
year, you said to me you love writing people off, so that's what Leeds have done this year. Hopefully now you can cement it and get to where you want to be.
Yeah, massively. So like, we asked people where do you think we're going to finish, and I think it was bottom or near bottom, if that. And that just lights the fire in my belly, and I think we've used that as a bit of an incentive going into each week, and I think we surprised some teams early on in the season when we actually did turn up, and we're a hard working team. We don't do anything that fancy. We're a team that just want to grind games out, and there's effort there. Even when we've lost games, we've the effort and the belief that we've had in the game is massive. Just for example, I'll just say Lewis Martin running back to boot ball outside the stadium against St Helens. That just proves that that's a totally different mindset to what the club had last year, and that's what we're building. And it's great to see that the players like that are giving it all, even looking in the defeat as well. So.
In terms of John Carter, I don't know if you heard it after the league game, but sort of looking for ways to sum up your performances, and he just came back and said, "Look, you should be in the England squad." I mean, what's your reaction to that? 'Cause it's always something you've done before, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coming from England and Great Britain.
I'd love to. I've never played against Australia, so that'd be magnificent. But it's something I've never really thought of. I've obviously not been in the squads or anything, but I'd never retire from international rugby. But I'm a very passionate Englishman as well, so I just want the best English team out there to win, to beat the Aussies. It's something that they haven't done for a long time, and whether I'd made it, if I make it, I make it. If not. But I want England to win that series, and if my phone's always on anyway.
Good message for Rennie there, but if it did happen, you could actually come up against John this year. There's been talk that he could be in the Australia setup. That could be weird, wouldn't it? End of season eventually.
Yeah. It's everything happens for reasons. I'm a big believer in that. I don't try and look too far ahead either. I'm just try and stay in my own lane kind of guy now. That's, like I say, that's coming with maturity and getting a bit older. But what will be, mate. Like I say, I just want to keep performing for Hull. Just the effort areas, the little things. I want to win, and like I say, we've got 4 games now. It's in our hands. I really want to make the playoffs with this team, with this club, and then see where we go from there.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Hi, Zach.
Hiya.
Congratulations, first of all, 400 appearances coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
If selected, of course.
Yeah.
But just going back over the years, I'm sure you've had many highlights throughout your career. Can you give us an insight into one or two of them that really stand out?
I think you always got to say your debut against St Helens when I played for Leeds. Debut for Featherstone against Hunslet, I scored an hat-trick. 2011 grand final, my 14th game in professional rugby. I scored the last try, diving over Old Trafford in front of 40,000 Leeds fans. Very special, and I think the one at Lee as well. The Lee Leopard branding, it got laughed at and joked about. Again, when we're talking about a bit of fire in the belly, it's like, well, everyone's taking mick out of us here. Newly promoted team. With a bit of a story. Derek were using that as motivation as well, and to go and win a Challenge Cup with a town like Lee, it's tiny, but the fans are passionate, and it's I love that club as well. It was a brilliant club to be at, and so I've got all the little stories like that. But then making my debut for Hull and creating this new story, it's towards the end. I don't worry, I've got a few years left, but it's towards the back end of it, and. Like I say, I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of years, but it could be written something special at LFC as well.
Brilliant. And you just said there you've gone through a similar transition with Lee as what Hull are going through now, or certainly gone through since the last couple of seasons. What realistically can this team achieve over the next couple of years, and you personally?
Well, I think if you just go on evidence of this year with numerous injuries to key personnel, we're in the top 6 with 4 games to go. I think that's amazing in itself. The young players that we've got, Lewis Martin, Harvey Barron, just Davey Litton as well. I think they've been absolutely tremendous. Every year they're going to get better. Us winning and the club growing is just going to attract more better players. I think, if you'd have asked some players to sign 2 years ago when they were going a bit of a drought, you probably wouldn't have got of the calibre of player you probably can get now, which is, that helps. And just the love and the passion from the fans to the club, it builds up as well. So, what did you say? What was the question then? Because I went off one.
Realistically.
So the next few years. So like I say, we're in the top 6 now with 4 games to go. We're adding quality. We've got some quality signs for next year. So we'll, they definitely want to be in the playoffs next year. I think it's just about ticking boxes and going from strength to strength. So for me, if I could top my career off at Hull, it would be to win something at Hull, whether that's Grand Final or Challenge Cup. That'd be brilliant, and I think that's realistically a good aim for the next, say, 3 to 4 years. So hope that can be a part of that.
And lastly, for me, you've mentioned the fans. You quickly become a fan's favourite in black and whites. What do you consider as your endearing features to embrace all that love and affection from the fans?
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. I haven't got Facebook, but my mum's quick to send me things that the people write when Hull FC post something, and all the fans just comment saying how good I've been. It's really nice. It's really nice to read. Obviously, over the years, I've had some negative comments, but towards the latter years of my career, to get so much positive feedback is really humbling and really nice, and that just makes me want to train harder to get this club better. It makes me want to be a better person, and me on the pitch, I just try and lead by example, like I mentioned earlier. If it's me doing 4 tackles on the bounce, just to get that crowd up to show I'm here to represent the badge. Sometimes players don't play as well, but sometimes I might not have the best game, but I'll always leave everything out there, put my hand up for the tough carries and give 110%, and that's what I'll always do.
Thanks, Zach.
No, cheers, mate. Thank you. Cheers, pal.
Just building on the last answer, really. Look, do you think of yourself as a leader? Because you're obviously the senior man in a group of young backs.
Yeah.
Do you relish that responsibility?
Yeah, I love it, and I think that's what's helped me grow as a person on and off the pitch. I've been in leadership groups at Leeds, at Wigan. I was in there, but I probably wasn't the best character and the best leader at the time, if I'm going to be totally honest. But I think having kids really helped me. Well, it certainly helps everyone, because you soon realise what life is really like, and it opens your eyes to certain things. And to come into training and young lads saying, "Oh God, I slept rubbish yesterday." It's like, mate, I've up about 5 times changing nappies, and it's just about growing up and learning. And I've done a lot of that in my life and my career. And I love that. I love to take that leadership role. I think it helps me play better. To be fair, now it's I try and step up if some of the boys get a bit tired, and some of the, like you say, the younger backs, they haven't been in some big games where they don't really know quite to do and where they should stand sometimes, and it's up to me to be loud and to help them. And it's not just game day, but through the week. And I really relish that, and I really enjoy it.